and welcome back. Today is Monday, August 17th, 2026, and I hope everybody's having a fantastic and wonderful Monday. I know that I am. It's been a wonderful day. It's been an amazing day. Do I have the wrong microphone? Testing. All right, NotSure. Well, thank you very much for letting me know that. Let me fix that ASAP. I should be able to fix that relatively easily. I think it's this one.
Testing, test. Hello? Bill, hello?
All right, I believe this is the microphone we wanted. Okay, let me know if everything sounds better now. That's it. How's everybody doing? My buddy, NotSure. You know what, NotSure? I think we're on to something. I think we're on to something with Kekbo. I really do. I think I don't know how to put it, but I'm excited. I think we're on to something. I think we're on to something special. And this is going to make us $1 billion, maybe even $2 billion. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe not quite that much, but I was doing a little experimenting and playing around with things yesterday, and it's kind of amazing. Like I really hadn't done. I really hadn't played around with AI tools that much. And just, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, I get it. So let's just fire it up. I mean, let's just get right into it. I think, so basically the way that this is going to work, again, I'm just jumping right into things. We're not wasting any time because we don't have time to waste. I'm already 51 years old. I don't have time to waste. Okay. So what we have here is we're going to have like two people talking to each other on some system, okay? So they're going to be talking to each other, basically just rebrand. No, it's not. It's actually a lot more than that. So don't minimize just because you don't understand, okay? Now just chill. All right. So two people talking to each other, right? And they're having a conversation on Teams or on a certain fan site where only people that are fans can talk to each other, whatever it is. Okay. Let's see, what can we do here? Let's just do this. All right. But I'm being a little cheeky, but it actually is more than just rebranding Quadrant. Okay. So let me talk to you a little bit about the architecture and then I'll explain why. So you have some kind of in between process that's basically going to send messages to this system that we're going to call Kekbo, right? And now Kekbo, it's going to be a few different things. Let me see. Okay, I want transparent is what I want. So it's going to enter into the first thing you need to do, and there's a lot of unknowns here, and I'll talk about the unknowns in a little bit, but are not unknowns as much as problems or solutions we still need to think through and kind of figure out. Right. So the first thing that it's going to hit is it's going to hit an LLM. Now, again, I know that I would be asking like, well, are you going to be sending the entire conversation at once? Are you going to be sending one message at a time? This is not the final answer. This is not shippable code, okay? But this is not the final answer, and it's still very much an open question. But for now, let's just assume you are sending the entire conversation at once. And let's say that that's actually too complicated for our initial purposes. We're going to assume that a conversation is, hey, Alice, in what version? No. Let me see. What is? I don't even remember what my wait a minute. I got the data over here somewhere. Give me a second. I'm gonna find like a very, very simple test case. Not test case, but kind of like a demo case. All right. So let me find it. Okay, right here. Here it is. Excellent. This is perfect. Okay. So what we're after. Now, I did redo the dimensions on my screen, so it might be a little harder to see. Let me make it a little bit bigger so that, because everybody likes it a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is our test conversation right here, right? Hey, Alice, Question, shoot, when did we start supporting a max throughput of 5G? And then Alice answers 3.0. Thanks. Now what you want is somebody to be able to come later on after the fact and basically ask some AI bot, the Kekbo bot, maybe that's what we'll call it, the Kek bot. We want to ask the Kek bot. Actually, let's rename that. That's a perfect name, actually. The Kek bot. They want to rename the Kek bot like, hello, how can I help? Right? And then what's the maximum throughput of 3.0? And then the Kek bot responds 5G, right? The max throughput of 3.0 is 5G. Now, the interesting thing to note here is what the goal is we never stated, there was no statement of fact saying that the maximum throughput of 3.0 was 5G. That is what I have been calling a knowledge unit, a KU, if you will, a knowledge unit. That is a knowledge unit that is derived from this conversation. NotSure says, I'm more chill today. I was a little excited about the project the last stream. Well, prepare to get unexcited. No, but okay. So we're at, like, from this conversation here, actually, you can even shorten this down even more. Let's just shorten it down to just these two sentences. Bob just opens the conversation, right? And again, what we send to the AI, what we process, how we process it in terms of conversation, that is still very much TBD. We will talk about it as it comes up, right? But for now, let's just assume that like we get nice, very contained conversation pieces like this. When did we start to support something with a max throughput of 5G? That was in version 3.0. Henna is here. I was talking to dear Henna. My dearest Henna is in the chat room. We got to cheer her up, boys. So apparently Henna has found out that she has to have both her arms and one leg amputated. It's a very sad, it's a weird genetic condition that only Finnish people get. And basically it's Finnish people with a lot of Inuit blood, which is actually, I just realized, like, it's kind of funny because a lot of the Finns, including Henna, have a lot of Inuit blood. And I think it's kind of funny because in my thumbnails, I'm constantly referring to NotSure as the Inuit, and Henna is just the Finnish woman. But anyway, so she has this really weird defect, or this genetic abnormality, this genetic weirdness, okay? And so she's going to have both her arms and her right leg amputated. I don't know why. It's like something that apparently, like in the Finnish, in the Sumi bloodline of like the people that are kind of like up north, like something like 1 in 10,000 people, which when you think about it is actually quite common, but like something like 1 in 10,000 people get it. So I remember being in Finland and like walking around, and you see a lot of these people like with no arms and one leg, like in wheelchairs, just out and about. I'm like, what is that about? And so now I understand. So Henna has found out that, like, unfortunately, she's going to have both her arms and the leg amputated. So she's a little under the weather. So let's try and cheer her up by giving her a round of applause. Oh, wait, that's going to be insensitive pretty soon. So anyway. All right, so the conversation will be it'll be first sent to an LLM, okay? The LLM will basically extract knowledge units, right? This will get us. Let's see. I want an arrow, right? This will take the raw text. Oh my gosh, this will take the raw text, and it will. All right, I want to shape this nicely. There we go. Oh yeah, that's shaped nicely. Okay, and then let's bring this in. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. So this is going to give us a knowledge unit, which I'm just going to. You know what? Fuck that. That was stupid on my part. Okay, this should actually just go below. If I could draw, let me see, come over here. All right. So the LLM, like I said, the LLM will return one or more knowledge units. Just to keep things simple, we're just going to say one knowledge unit, but eventually, we're going to have multiple knowledge unit. The knowledge unit, this will result in a knowledge unit, which actually, wait a minute, let's go down here. And then the knowledge unit, can I put a label on this? Can I label that? Because that's actually what I want to label. want to label that right there. So this actually gives us knowledge units. A knowledge unit, also known as a KU. Okay, easy. And then let's shrink that text a little bit so we can fit the knowledge unit text right in here. Oh yeah, I love it when it fits nice and snug just like that. You know, you don't want it to, I don't like it when there's a lot of extra room and it's just like you don't even know, like when it's not tight at all. No, nobody likes that. But basically the result of this process is a knowledge unit, right? And then this is when we send it into the embedding. This is where we take a vectorization of the knowledge unit, and then that, and I know NotSure is going to be creaming his pants now, because that is it's the knowledge unit, the embedded, or basically the vectorized knowledge unit, what gets sent into into the Quadrant database, right? Quadrant is actually how it's spelled. Okay, so this is the first part. This is the first part where two people are talking, something of relevance comes up. LLM can do the summarization. What fucking summarization are you even talking about? Chill. You need to chill. I don't know there is no summarization here. So unless you're talking about like the extraction part. Anyway, okay. So there are challenges here, though, NotSure. It's not as simple as just sending everything to an LLM. There are challenges. So now once we have everything in Quadrant, now it's easy enough. Now when somebody else comes along and they want to query the data, what they'll do is let's see, easy. All right. They'll come and they will send a message to the bot, basically the I was going to say the AOL chat bot, but basically to the chat bot, right? And it'll be something. Oh my gosh, why can't I select this line? There we go. Basically, it'll be something like this question here, like what was the maximum throughput of 3.0? And then basically what will happen there is the first step there is the embedding. You will embed the query, right? And then after you embed the query, you will do a search of the vector database, where what you'll get from that is you will get the three most similar results, right? You'll get the three most similar results, and then you'll take those three similar results, and then you'll pass those to your LLM, and then the LLM is basically what generates the which is what generates the response, right? So then we can actually come over here. We can have another set down here, right? Response. Okay. So this part, actually, the part on the left-hand side, let me load up my mouse highlighter. The part on the left-hand side is actually pretty, not easy, but it's pretty okay. Lindsay Core, welcome back, Lindsay Core. It's always good to see you, sir. We're talking about Kekbo. We're talking about the most awesome chat. We're talking about a great idea. This is the idea that's going to make all of us tons of money, mostly me, but all of you guys, all of you will reap the benefits because I'll be so rich, I'll be able to stream all the time because I won't have to work, and that is how and in that way, you guys will also be rich. I mean, that's just how it is. Yeah, I saw the repo, by the way. I did a follow there in GitHub. I'm not even sure what repo you're talking about. There's like if you're talking about Kekbo, there's like 6 different repos. So anyway, what we're talking about now is you have a conversation, like forget about that top part. You have a conversation like this, so the idea is you have some service that is listening, and let's say you give it this conversation where Bob says, Bob is sending an instant message to Alice, and the question is, when did we start supporting a max throughput of 5G? And then Alice says that was in version 3.0. Basically, what will happen is that part of the conversation, again, I'm going to talk about some of the challenges of this part on the left-hand side in a second, but can I do this? Yeah, that does work. I'm going to bring this up here. So that part what will happen is this conversation will basically be fed into the LLM to have the knowledge unit extracted. Once the knowledge unit is extracted, in this case, the knowledge unit is going to look like something like max throughput of 3.0 is 5G, right? So that knowledge unit will be extracted from the conversation. It'll be embedded. It basically vectorizes how I've been thinking of it, and then that vectorization will be stored in our vector database. Now, apparently, there is a plugin for like Postgres and for MySQL, which allows you to do. But you can basically store your vectorizations alongside of your regular, SQL database. I guess I could see some argument for that, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to bother with that. Anyway, so just to kind of reiterate, what happened? So just to kind of reiterate, so once that knowledge unit gets put into the vector database, now it's easy to query it. Somebody comes along and then they ask the question. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to repeat myself many times. Let's see, we'll put that there. So they come over and they say, what's the max throughput of 3.0? And then somebody responds, well, basically that question will get turned into a vector. That vector will then take that vector and say, hey, find me like the 5 most similar vectors closest to this vector. That's where the vector database comes in. We'll take those results, we'll feed them into the LLM and say, hey, from these 5 results to this question, generate the best response. And then the LLM generates a response, and then that's how you get the maximum throughput of 3.0 is 5G. So this is the overall architecture. This is the overall architecture. However, there is a big unknown, which is actually, it's pretty challenging, and it's a pretty neat problem. It's a pretty neat problem, which is actually very parallel. I don't think the LLM does the retrieval. I never said the LLM does the retrieval. But there's actually an interesting parallel to what I do in my day job, all right? And that is this concept of sessionization, all right? Because the way that we structured this conversation between Bob and Alice is very clean, clear, and it's just very, cut and dry. One, like, statement or question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. However, very rarely do conversations actually go like that, right? They more often go like this. Hey, Alice. Hi, Bob. Question for you. What version of Angular this was another example, right? But same kind of idea. What version of Angular are we using in version 2.3? I'd have to look that up, but I'm about to head to lunch. Can I look it up when I get back? Sure. 45 minutes later. Hey, Bob, so it looks like we're using version 20.2 or 20.21. 20, says Bob. Alice, yeah. Are you sure? Because I'm pretty confident we were using 21 when we released 2.1. Alice, let me look. 10 minutes later. You know what? You're right. I double checked. We're actually using version 22.0.1 with version 2.3. Got it. Thanks for looking. No problem. So in this case, what is it you actually feed to the LLM here? In this first step, right? What is it you actually feed to the LLM? So we need to be a little smarter. And this is where the idea of sessionization comes in. And so sessionization is actually something that, and I said that this parallels what I do in my day job a little bit, because the way where we use sessionization is you get tons of packets, right? Like when I go to, I'm going to load up google.com. This web request right there was probably at least a dozen packets, right? You had your TLS handshake going on, and then once all of that was the TLS handshake is probably, God knows, like that's probably 6, 7, 8, 9 packets right there, and then you have like probably packets for the images, for the text. There's probably like some hidden ad. There's probably like the point. You know what? Let's do this. Let's load up now. I'm curious to see how many packets it is. An incognito window is what we're going to do. Now we're going to load up developer mode. Where's developer mode? Okay, network. Okay, so I just want to go to google.com. Watch it prove me completely wrong. But let's see. Okay, so it did load up quite a few. How can I just want to move everything. Oh, my stars and garters. I just want to move this up. Oh my God. There it is. Okay, so look at this. This is, okay, these are all different requests. I don't know that I can actually see on the packet level. But the point is you can imagine that each request, this is all requests. So each one of these probably has at least two packets, one request, one response, one request, one response. So this is what? This is easily 20, 30. So you're talking 60 packets just to load up the Google page. Excuse me. So what I'm getting at is, but these are all these packets are related because they're all the same session. They're all done for one single purpose, which is to load the Google web page. That is the session in and of itself, right? So there's a similar concept here where you could think about a single message is a packet. And so sessionization at its core, and the most basic way to describe it is just the correlation of units of data, how they correlate together to form a single unit of data, where in this case, it's a session, right? This session here generated this Google web page. Well, it didn't generate it, but the purpose of the session was to render this Google web page. I already read that. So it's not now. Unfortunately, it's not quite as simple with a conversation, but you could kind of think about a single message as a packet. So the question really becomes like, how do we know, like, what do we send to the LLM? If we go back to our design, like, when do we know when to send data to, when do we know when to do this first step? And that's actually it's actually kind of challenging, because imagine this is an ongoing conversation, right? It could be like, hey, Alice, hey, Bob, oh God, last night, and then he asks question, what version of Angular are we using? And then she's like, cause she's a woman, Alice is like, oh, is that all you have to say to me after you pull out and dump a load on my back? And then Bob is like, I'm sorry. I just don't want children, want children. And then it just goes on and on, because women like to drag arguments out as long as they possibly can, and they'll never admit when they're wrong. And then eventually, an hour and a half later, after Bob has agreed to finally, finish the job inside of her and try to give her a baby because she's 35 years old and time is ticking, then she'll get around to answering the question as to what version of Angular they were using in product version 2.3. So how do you do that? How do we do that, right? So if we want to look at the most basic, and again, this is now where I am kind of venturing into uncharted territory in terms of, I know that this was a problem we have to address, and now I'm just going to be thinking off the cuff with certain ways to address the problem, right? So we could think of a naive solution, right? We'll call it naive solution number 1, which is to just do it in time slice. Or you could do it in time slices. Let's start, even better, let's start with message slices. And what I mean by that is, say that we want to send every 10 messages to the LLM. And there's an infinite number of ways we could do it. And again, I'm thinking off the cuff. So if this sounds unstructured and unrehearsed and I don't really know what I'm talking about, none of those things are wrong. So let's say Bob, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I just don't want children. Alice, you're just like all the other men in my life. You just use me. Bob, no, I'm not. I swear. What we have is special. I think I love you. Alice, but why do I keep typing alive? Alice, but you don't love me enough to finish inside me. Question, question, question. Because you know when a woman has multiple question marks at the end of her question, you know that like it's serious, right? Like that's how they operate. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 2 more messages basically. Bob, okay, look, I love you, but I'll only finish in your butt. Is that okay for you? Alice, I'll have to think about it, but I did a lot of that in high school, and I don't know if I want to be that kind of girl again. Okay, so and then this would be a point like if we did it by naive solution number 1, message count, right? Message count sessionization, right? Sessionization, where here we have it. Maybe we define something like max num messages equals 10, and so here this would be a single session. And this gets tricky because now the question has been asked, but Alice has decided to go crazy like women often do because she had like a fling with some guy and it's a coworker, which is really a bad idea, but you know, whatever. So now the conversation continues. Bob, look, can we talk about this tonight over a few glasses of wine? Alice, sure, but I have to warn you, I have a low tolerance for alcohol. I'm just gonna let the AI. That's okay, I can handle it. Alice, okay, so it looks like and now this is where we can kind of pick up. It looks like here, right? So it looks like we're using version 20.21. And so here, wait, that was a good run, boys. What was a good run? What are you talking about, Matthew? This whole thing is a good run. All right. Oh, wait. What is this? Okay, pero hoy quiero para the space camera apartamentos hay muchos problemas este. Oh my God. My Monday night jog. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay, so first of all, when you said that was a good run, I thought you meant like, you know what I mean? Oh, well, that was a good, like, oh, we're getting canceled. Well, that was a good run. But you actually meant literally a run. Okay, time in London. I fucking hate you, Matthew. I fucking hate you. I seriously, like, there's no excuse. Now, because now you're going to be up to fucking 3 o'clock tonight. Like, no, fucking hate. Like, no, I'm done. Like, I feel like Alice right now. And like Matthew is just pissing me off. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is where it gets tricky, right? Because it looks like, so here you have session number 1. And down here you would have session number 2 under this sessionization cadence, essentially. Uh-oh. Give me a second, boys. I dropped some cards. Give me a second, boys. Oh. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, boys. I'm an old man. Okay. All right. So, and I know NotSure's thinking like, what's the big deal? Like, oh well, you know, the LLM, like, but it is a big deal because, like, ideally the sessions would be pretty much self-contained units, and there would be no context really stored from session to session, because if you start storing context, where does it end? Like, it's that's the problem. It's like, how do you decide what context to store, and for how long are you storing it? So session to session context is difficult. And so again, like, how would an LLM, like having an LLM, like, I don't know. Like that's why I was saying it was like an interesting problem, because when I was thinking about this yesterday, the problem didn't just jump out at me like it often does because I'm a genius. But in this case, it was like, ugh, like, this is tricky, because so you could do it. This is message count sessionization. You could do it by another way. You could do it would be like time, like every 10 minutes or something. Or if there's a lapse in silence. So like, let's say the conversation starts and the conversation, oh God. So you'd have to know when the conversation ends, but then you have to define ends, and you could define, well, conversation ends if there's no message for, I don't know, 10 minutes. But what if Alice goes to lunch and then comes back and answers the question after the fact, right? So yeah, I'm like, this is a tough one, and I'm not like, there's no answer that really jumps out at me that, like, super clearly. So if you guys have any ideas, I'm open to it. You could have some level of context. You could do something maybe a little smart, where if you look at session number 2, the LLM should be it should be smart enough to realize that there was an answer to a question that the LLM, doesn't have in its memory. Hence, it could go back to some archive, looking at the, obviously starting at the most recent and working its way backwards. That's one solution, maybe. I don't know. Where's NotSure with the, NotSure always has insane, like, tangential, kind of like not really relevant, but sometimes like chaotically genius solutions. So that's what I'm looking for. Where now he's just mysteriously silent. He's probably pissed off at Matthew's 9:30 run like I am. I'm still pissed about that. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm a little distracted over here. Let me look at this. 14. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm leaving for frickin' Cape Town. I'm leaving for Cape Town on Thursday. Let me see. I want to look something up really quick. I want to look up how much it has. Oh, Lindsay. Well, Lindsay. Lindsay, if you have something like, wait, Lindsay, what country are you in? I forgot. Are you Russian? I know System. I think System is Russian, but are you also Russian? I can't remember. Or are you the one that lives in Krakow? Not not Kiev. Oh my God, why is it so warm in this house suddenly? All right, I'm trying to log into my United Airlines account because I want to see if there's, by any chance, if I've been upgraded already. Let me see. And I want to see how much an upgrade costs. So, okay, upgrade cabin. So I have not been upgraded yet. This is insane. Wait, does this show? Okay, this does not show. I want to make sure this does not show my confirmation number. Look at this. Look at this. $7,000, almost $8,000 for an upgrade. Now this, I might do this. I might go ahead and do the Premium Plus. I don't know. Well, that actually still is pretty expensive. Like I'm on the upgrade list. So like if they don't sell all the upgrade, let me see something. Let me see. No, I don't want to pay that. Waitlist upgrades refund. You are currently waitlisted for an upgrade. When you complete this purchase, okay, so never mind that. All right, all right. But it is, I can't believe how, okay, what, like my seat now, I want to check my seat. All right. Can't believe I'm going to, okay, there's still actually lots of premium. So there is a chance I might get upgraded. I do not want to be upgraded to Premium Plus because no, thank you. I will just suffer in back. Okay, right now there is nobody in my row, which is what I want. I'll keep monitoring this situation. I'll let you guys know if anything changes. Hopefully nothing will change. All right. All right. That looks good. $7,000. Like, I mean, and it's not even like $6,800. It's almost $8,000. When I when I was like coming back from, I've already talked about this, but I'll talk about it again. Like when I was coming back from Botswana and I was like all like, like completely just like devastated and destroyed, kind of just like Bob's going to be once he's done with Alice, because Alice is probably just going to use him. And then like when she's bored with him, she's just going to toss him aside like a piece of garbage, because that's what women do when they're done with men. They just want the men while like, as for the length of time that they get the feels, that they have the feels, because women are all about the feelings. How does he make me feel? Well, he doesn't make me feel this way, so I need to find somebody who makes me feel this certain feeling, because if I don't feel this certain feeling, then obviously there must be something wrong. Like that's how women operate. I literally forgot what I was talking about when I started on that tirade, but something about United Air. Oh no! But when I was coming back from Botswana, and it was $6,000 for the ticket. It was $6,000 for the ticket, and actually, I should mention this $7,789 upgrade. That's for the upgrade. I've already spent like $1,300 for the flight, right? Just for the economy class ticket, one way. I don't have a return ticket yet. One way is like 30. So in total, it's like it would be like a $9,000 trip. So maybe once this thing starts taking off and then like it makes us all billionaires, then maybe I'll be able to afford that. But until then, no. Anyway, so NotSure's left. Matthew's gone. It's just me and Lindsay. I'm from Morocco. Okay. Most people think I'm Russian. There is no difference, only air temperature. Well, I would say there's a bit of an air difference between Morocco and Russia. I've never been to Morocco, but let me see something. Maps.google.com. Morocco. Oh, it's 1R, 2 Cs. Yeah, so I've always wanted to go to Mauritania. It's not Mauritius. Is it Mauritania? Is it Mauritania or is it Mauritania? Like, I honestly don't know. But I've really wanted to go to Western Sahara, like this area, which I was reading. There's one city here. I don't remember which city it was, but I was like, because I've always thought of this part of like the world as like lawless. Like it's like this unclaimed, like it kind of belongs to Morocco, but it also kind of belongs to Mauritania or Mauritania, however you pronounce it. Like who does it belong to? What country is it? Or is it its own country? And I always thought that like it would be like probably some just like super uber dangerous place, but apparently it's actually oddly safe. I wish I could remember. It's not Depeche de la. Oh my God, I have to go there though. Depeche de la Maris. It's not Depeche de la Maris. I don't remember what city it was I was thinking that I was reading about, but there was like one city. Maybe I just made that up. But from what I like is Western Sahara? No, Western Sahara is not officially a recognized independent country. It is a self-governing territory, making it the last major disputed colonial region in Africa. Control of the land is split between Morocco and the indigenous Polisario Front. Interesting. Is Western Sahara safe? It is it says it's a disputed and politically sensitive territory. Well, I didn't ask about that. I asked if it's safe. Safe. No, not worth visiting. Safe visiting. It carries significant risks. Okay, maybe everything I was just talking about, I just made up. Major governments advise against non-essential travel or outright alter. How would you even? Let's see. I want to see how you can even get there. Let me see. So there is a fair number of airports. It's interesting that flightconnections.com actually kind of brings it as part of Morocco. So Dakhla is Dakhla safe? Generally safe from violent crime and street crime, functioning as a secure and popular hub. This might be it. Yeah, I think this is the city I was thinking of. However, it is located where travelers should remain aware of military zones, low crime, scams. So, Dakhla. Okay, I've heard Dakhla has some of the crystal beaches. The beaches are beautiful. I'm interested. Interesting. Okay. Lindsay Gore says, we already fixed that problem. 22 countries vote for us that the desert is for us. So Lindsay is of the belief that Western Sahara belongs to him and his people. It was just political problems with Algeria. Don't worry, everything is safe. But now everything is safe and okay. Interesting. No, I'd be interested to go. And then also, every time I'm in Africa, I often will talk to, like when I'm in South Africa, I'll often talk to the Uber drivers. And, when I was in Botswana, I spoke to plenty of people there too, plenty of drivers. But I always ask them, and there's actually a lot of Somalians in South Africa. And I'll always tell them how oh my God, I want to go there. And like lately, they've all been it's safer. It's still, you got to still have to be careful. But if you go to Mogadishu and you do your research, it's safe now. It's safe. And I'm like, I don't know. But I've always wanted to go to Mogadishu. I've never had any desire to go to Morocco. I never have. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Wait a minute, Lindsay. Wait. Shut the front door. Shut the front door. Lindsay, were you one of the people going into Spain? Were you one of the people going into Ceuta? Lindsay, stay on your side of the fence. You stay on your side of the fence, young man. Don't make me come over there. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm acting like that. I'm trying to show off. I'm trying to show off for Lindsay. Okay, let me chill. No. Okay. I'm just don't get mad, Lindsay. I'm just joking. It's all fun and games here. It's just fun. It's just fun, okay? I'm not really mad at NotSure, even though I think he left because he was done with me, and I'm not really mad at Matthew, and I think he left because he's done with me. So, but don't leave me too, Lindsay. I don't want to be left here alone. Henna showed up for 5 minutes and then she left. But I think Henna probably left because she's still, she's practicing, trying to be on the computer with no hands and legs. Lindsay says, I want to go to Switzerland, Russia, and Canada in the future. So of those 3, I've been to one, and I would pick Switzerland, which I've never been to. I really want to go to Russia too. Actually, David and I were talking about Russia last night and just how like Russian women, oh my god, like just oh my god. Miss Russia 2025. Let's see what we got here. Anastasia Venza. All right, I'm gonna just in case. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. She, you know, like I feel like Russia could do better. I feel like, okay, all right. I still feel like Russia could do better. All right, let me do this. Wait a minute. Valentina Alexieva. Valentina Alexieva. Okay. I get it. I definitely get it. Still, okay. I mean, she's a pretty girl. Don't get me wrong. She's a pretty girl. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Okay. I got to stop because remember, on this channel, we do not objectify women. Okay. This is a pro women feminist stream. Above all else, we pride ourselves on our feminism, right? So don't even, like, Lindsay, don't even think about objectifying women. Not on this stream. No, sirree. All right, give me a minute. Oh, sorry, Muwaan. Sorry. Also, yes, Ukrainian women and then there was like some actress that died today. Like, who was the actress that it was all over? I don't want to say it was all over the news, right? Actress death today, or yesterday, I guess it was. Actress Hayden Panettiere. I swear, it was all over every freaking like YouTube channel that I watch was talking about Hayden Panettiere. I have never heard of this woman. I've never heard the name before. Like, let me see what films she's been in. Like, maybe I recognize her from something. Let me see. Okay, right. Let's see. Ice Princess, good. The Architect. I feel like I might have seen that movie. We'll check that out. Bring It All or Nothing. Shanghai Kiss. Scream 4, Custody, Scream 6, Amber Alerts. Okay, so of these movies, maybe this, like, I don't know that I've seen all the Sleep movies, the Scream movies. Like, I like the Scream franchise, but it's nothing that I would seek out, right? It's nothing where, like, oh, there's a new Scream movie, I have to go see it. Like, no. But if it's on, yeah, sure, I'll, like if I'm on a 12-hour flight and, like, I'm scrolling through, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll watch that. But I've never heard of her. And of these movies, I think I've seen The Architect. It sounds familiar. Okay, what is this? Who's confronted by residents of a housing complex to design the building? No, I've never seen it, actually. Nope, never seen it. So, okay, so that's okay. Maybe I've seen her in some of her television shows. Let's see. Guiding Light, which is a soap opera. Touched by an Angel. Okay, Law and Order, Ally McBeal, Malcolm in the Middle. Like, none of the, like, I've heard of these shows, but none of them that I've watched with any regularity. No. Robot Chicken, Punked. Like, nope. Yeah, no, you could have shown me a picture of her and been like, do you think she's a movie star? Like, do you recognize this movie star? And it's like, no. Like, I mean, like, I would have thought she was like Lindsay's cousin or something. Like, I do not know. I've never seen her in my life. But then, like, apparently she was like talking about how, like, when she was like, she turned 18 in some big, so apparently when she was 18, she was on a boat. She went out on a boat, and then on the boat, she was taken down to the to the bed, to the sleep area of the boat, and there was an older, very famous, I guess, actor, or I guess it was a very famous man who was on the bed naked, and she was to do certain things. And who was that guy? That's what I want to know. Who was on the boat with Hayden Panettiere? She did not name, but yeah, that's the story. Yeah, no, Lindsay's like, what the F? No, like, that's what she said. That, like, but she's on a boat at 18. Apparently she had been like doing drugs and drinking. And then some other female takes her down to the bedroom area and it's like, here, now you are going to do certain acts on this person. And she, I guess the story goes that she like ran and hid on the boat. I think that's what she said. So she went and she hid on the boat away from this person. And I guess she stayed hidden until the boat went back to land. I don't know, but that's the gist of it from what I understand. Hayden Panettiere was put in bed with an undressed, very famous man on a boat. Surely there are some rumors about who it was. Let me check something really quick. That's the lore. Many of you people... Oh, wait. What is this? Many of you people are so wrong about making these kind of comments about a young lady that was 18 and trusted someone and was physically forced into the bed with an older man, and then she ran out of the room and hid from the man. Maybe y'all need to get the story straight and facts straight before you start saying she knew what she was doing. And I bet it was not the first time she got in bed naked. Y'all so wrong. I do... Like, at 18, she knew what she was doing. Like, though, I do find those comments a little weird. Like, really? Really? Does anybody know what they're doing at 18? Because I'm thinking probably not. How old are you, Lindsay? How old are you? Because I get the impression you're on the younger side. I think you're like, I remember asking you before. I think you said you're like 20. And, you know, even, let's say you're 20. I suspect you barely know what you're doing. You know what? I'm 51. I still don't know what I'm doing, okay? So, like, at 18, the idea that she knew what she was doing, that's weird. Okay, he's 18. Yes! So, you know, what's Lindsay going to do if he goes into the bedroom area of some, like, super yacht and there's an older... What did she say? What was the lore? You know, into bed with an undressed, very famous man. So what's Lindsay going to do? We're all going to freak out. I want to know, wait, theories about who the, okay, you know, where's NotSure? Because I know he has a Grok subscription, and I bet Grok has some theories about who Hayden Panettiere was on the boat with. Surely there's some theories. There's got to be theories. There's got to be, like, speculation. Like, I don't know why, but the name that comes to mind for me, and by no means am I saying that this is what happened. Like, it's just the name that keeps coming to mind. It's just the name that keeps popping up when I think about this internally. But the name that keeps coming to mind, Tom Hanks. I don't know why. I feel like it just... I don't know what's going on with this. But Tom, like, that's the name that keeps coming to mind. But it's probably not him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it's not him. It's definitely not Tom Hanks. Man, there's no difference in the age, is only mentality difference. There are some people that they're age 64 and they still kids. I don't disagree, but I do disagree. I mean, there definitely is a mentality difference between 18 and 38. There is. But I get what you're saying as well. That I do think, I would say that how can I put this? I know what I want to say. I'm just not sure how to word it. That I would say that 85% of who you are is established by the age of 17. That the person you are at the age of 17, 85% of you will basically be the same person when you're 60. Well, I shouldn't speak because I'm not 60. When you're 50. Like, I don't feel vastly different than I was when I was 17. Sure, I'm more mature. Like, I will think twice before I just act compulsively. I'll choose my words a little more wisely. Things like that. Like, I've matured, but my core beliefs, my core values, the core system of who I am, it's not vastly different than who I was at 17. There are certain things like when I was 17, I was very much against gun rights. Now, 100% for them, 100% for gun rights. At 17, I was like all for the death penalty. Now, I don't know. I could see it both ways. So there are like some like more political hot button issues that have vacillated and changed over the years. But I would say I am 85% the person I was at 17. Experiences that build the personality of the person. Yes, sir. Indeed. Where the fuck did everybody else go? Not that I don't enjoy being here with you, Lindsay, but I just want to know where everybody else went. Okay, so okay, we're gonna load up Docker. I think the Docker instance runs pretty well. Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, whoa. What happened to my instance? All right, let me see. I don't know why the container, like, what happened to my container? Whoa, hey. Oh, it's right there in front of my face. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Holy schmoly. Okay, so we have, this isn't, why did that stop? Okay, this is failing for some reason. Ready manifest. So there are two Olama services that are running, right? So Olama has the model, which is the Quinn 3.5, and I'm using 4 billion. Is it vectors? 4 billion, whatever. 4 billion. I just know I'm using 4 billion. I was using 8 billion yesterday, and then it was so fucking slow. So I changed to 4 billion. It did make a good difference. I have not tried it on this computer, so I don't know what, if any kind of difference, like, I don't know what the performance is going to be like, but we're going to find out in a minute. So there's that. But I'm trying to figure, so it's running that, and then it's running embeddings. Actually, I guess I can look at the Docker Compose file to figure it out. Okay, so embedding model. Yeah, so embedding Gemma, that's what turns the actual text into vectors. So these are the two services that basically, I think of them as services. I mean, they basically are. But these are the two services that are running in Olama. If you can accept my advice, you better try it on a separate computer. It will be a mess in the future. I mean, yeah, I mean, this, I'm not targeting this for any specific computer, right? Like, I mean, this is just my development computer. Maybe depending on how this runs, I was going to say that like maybe we might have it so that I have a separate computer and then we just like SSH into it, or, you know, since it's all done through like a REST API, we could just call it remotely. But I am, since I am leaving for Cape Town on Thursday and I literally do not know when I'm coming back, I'm not going to bother setting that up now. If I come back, which kind of hoping I'm not, but if I come back, and when I come back, we can look into that then. Because I do have probably, I have a nice GPU. I actually have 2 GPUs. I have one specifically for AI models, and then I have an actual gaming GPU. I just don't have them in a PC. So if, depending on what my future holds, so there are there's more than 2 possibilities. There's a bazillion possibilities about my future. But depending on how things go, let me see. All right, let's see. I'm going to draw this out because I like to, oh my gosh. I have a monster. Oh, wait. No. Okay. So depending on how things go, right? I could be, let's see. Okay, here's me. Here's me right there. That's me. Okay. I'm okay. Maybe I've lost a little bit of weight, so I'm a little, there we go. I'm not so fat, but wait, let me just go ahead and just, there I am, right? Okay, so making myself a little thinner than I actually am. But you know what? We all got to have goals. So I'm going to Africa, as we know. I leave for Cape Town on Thursday. And the way I see it is there are 2 possibilities depending on how things go. I will either be coming home, or I will, let's say I'll be coming back to the US, returning to US, or I will be easy. I will be remaining in Africa until November, right? So these are the 2 big possibilities as I see them. Now, which one is more likely? Probably returning to the US, but I don't know. I mean, that might just be my pessimism. That might be me trying to guard myself, like to protect myself from being hurt and crushed and everything. So I don't know. But we'll see. Obviously, there's one I'm hoping for, right? So if I do end up coming back from the US, because basically there is no middle ground here. As far as I am concerned, I am going to go to Cape Town and I am either remaining in Africa coupled, or I'm returning to the US, never speaking to that person again. That's kind of how I see things. So if I return to the US, never speaking to that person again, first, I will be doing a lot of crying, right? I will be crying a lot, and you'll be hearing about it a lot. You think you've been hearing about this now. You haven't seen anything yet. So I will be doing a lot of crying. Okay, easy. Is there any way I can just shrink this? Okay, maybe not. Oh, my stars and garters. Come on. Okay, that's what I want. I wanted to move things, right? So I'll be doing a lot of crying. But then after I do some crying, after I've after I've done maybe the majority of my crying, not all of my crying, but after I've done a lot of crying, I will, then I'll like pick myself up, and I'll brush the dust off my legs, and I'll slap myself on the back, and I'll be like, no, you are good enough, Addie. You are good. You are lovable. People can love you. People do love you, right? And then I will buy a new PC, right? I will buy a new PC. That's what I will do. That will be this path here. That if I if things do not go the way I am hoping, then I will be buying a new PC. I will return to the U.S. I will cry a lot. Actually, I should just go ahead and let me just put a couple of these in here. Just put another one, and then let's just drag this out like that, and then and then I could just put one here, and then another one there, and then I don't have room for another one, but you get the picture. There'll be a lot of crying, and then probably more crying, and then after that I'll probably do some more crying. So that's what's going to happen, right? If I do remain in Africa until November, I will come home in November, and then I will stay home for the month of November. I spent last November in South Korea, and I regretted it so much. Not because how can I put this? I didn't necessarily regret it because I was in South Korea, though I was not a big fan of South Korea. The main thing I regretted was not being in the U.S. for the month of November. So I know that you're Moroccan, Lindsay. So you might not understand how big of a deal Thanksgiving is in the United States. Like, not just for it's a big deal. It is a big deal for the entire country, for Americans. It's what because it's the politically correct thing. It's the politically cool thing to hate Americans and to be like, oh, America doesn't have any culture, right? But America has lots of culture. And I would say one of the things, one of the big cultural things that we have is Thanksgiving. And I was so sad. So there is this magical week. Let me see. Come here. There's this magical week every year in November that Americans, where you have basically a 4-day weekend. Now, I know that Europeans, and I don't know, because is Morocco is Morocco like a Christian heavy or a Muslim heavy kind of country? Because America is not necessarily a Christian nation, but we definitely are a Christian influenced nation. And but I find it interesting because in Europe, where it's very agnostic, where Europe kind of as a whole is just kind of this atheist, a lot of countries, Finland, for example, there are a lot of atheist heathens in Finland, but they get a 4-day weekend every year on Easter. They get Good Friday off, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Easter Monday, they get it off. It's a Muslim nation. So you probably, I would imagine you probably get a lot of time off with Ramadan. I'm just guessing. I don't know. And then there's the Eid. Maybe you get a lot of time off on Eid, but I don't know anything about Islam, but I'm just purely guessing. So in the States, we get Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. It's always on a Thursday. It's defined by the last Thursday in November. That's when Thanksgiving is, the last Thursday in November. And since you get a Thursday off, we get the Friday off, because even if we didn't get it off, everybody's taking it off anyway. So the government's closed on Friday. It's closed on Thursday and Friday. So boom, you've got a 4-day weekend. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving in the United States is known as the busiest drinking day of the year. You go to any bar on a Wednesday, on the Thanksgiving Eve Wednesday, you go to any bar in the United States, and it is packed. I love Thanksgiving week because you have Thursday and Friday off. Nobody's going to work on Wednesday. You might as well just meh. And Monday and Tuesday, it's just the whole week is just meh. Also, you got to understand this week is, of course, leading up to Christmas, right? Because you've got, and it basically the month of December is a wash. It's basically a wash. Like nothing happens in December. Nothing, like nobody, like a lot of our customers, like we're planning to do a software release of our next major version. I think it's October 16th. It's October 9th or October 16th. But we're pretty much accepted the fact, because it's an enterprise product, and I'm talking about my day job. So it's an enterprise product. It's a business to business. So it's like big corporations are, getting a new version and they're installing it. So and they're installing it in their labs and in their enterprise. And basically what it is, it's basically accepted that, oh, well, nobody's going to install it probably until January, because nobody installs anything in December. And well, November is practically December. And since we're doing it in the latter half of October, we're practically releasing it in January 2027. So the Thanksgiving week, it's kind of like the unofficial start of, not even unofficially, it is the start of the holiday season. And oh God, I love Thanksgiving week in this country. And so last year I was in South Korea, and for obvious reasons, it just didn't have the same feeling. Again, for obvious reasons. And I'm just like, I'm like looking on Facebook, and I'm seeing these people, they're like posting about Thanksgiving, they're posting about this, that, the who's it, the what's it. And I'm just like, oh, I was so sad. I was so sad, so sad not to be in the United States for Thanksgiving week, which is this week. So I basically told myself that will be the last time that I am not in the United States for Thanksgiving. So this year, when I went to Africa, like when I was like going there and I'm like, hey, I'm moving here, I'm going to be living here. The plan always was that I would basically come home around the beginning of November and I would go back to Africa at the end of November. So if I go back to Addie's plan, hopefully that's what will happen, is I'll go and then I'll remain in Africa until November. And then after that, I'll oh my gosh. Okay. And then I'll come home for November. I'll come home and I'll come back to the US. I'll come back to the US for November. And then after that, I will return to Africa, and then return to Africa. And then after that, and then after that, I mean, I haven't really thought about it too much, but I'll do this, and then I'll nope. I'll do that, and then after I do that, I'll then I'll do that as well. I mean, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that thing too. And then after that, I'll, yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a good life. I'll, yep. Yep. And then, yep. This is my long-term vision. Not that I haven't thought about, I'm just kind of making this up, because I really haven't thought about this on the fly. Get chickens and goats. And then I'll, and then eventually I'll just die. So, and then die there. That's my. So these are the two paths that I could go down on coming on this upcoming trip. So there's a lot riding on this trip. It's kind of, you never know what's going to happen. So anyway, I hope that's answered your question, Lindsay, even though I know you didn't ask a question. There we go, right there. Yep. So, yep. Lindsay says, yeah, I know that culture. My family are most from Canada and US. Yeah, in Canada, they have that shitty Canadian Thanksgiving, which I think is in October. When is Canadian... Yeah, October. It's celebrated on the second Monday of October. So they tried to be just like the United States and have it on like some oddball, like where we're on the last Thursday of November. Right? Oh yeah, well we're going to be the second Sunday or the second Monday of October. Oh, screw you, Canada, you bunch of sissies. Bunch of sissies, that's what they are. All right. Okay. So I wanted to figure out why this one container was not. Okay. So it's the. Oh, which one is it? Okay. So that's a terrible. If I'm being honest. I like, in case you couldn't figure it out, I really want this. That's the plan I really want. Like that's the one I really want. I'm really hoping for that one. But if I'm also being honest, the one that's more likely is that one. At least I'll get a new PC. I guess, you gotta look at the bright side. Some things. Man, 18 years old. You know what I was doing when I was 18? Becoming a father. My daughter was born when I was 18. I was born in March of that same year. That same year I turned 18, my daughter was born in July. Yep, I became a dad at 18. But enough of that. This is yeah. I mean, this sounds like a good life, right? This could be rural Maine. And actually, what I would really like, my ideal plan would be, let me add another one, just because I'm daydreaming here. No. Here we go. Split time between. There we go. That's it right there. That's the dream. That's the dream right there. And I wish Henna was here to like slap me, or I wish Lisa was here to tell me I'm an idiot. Although, Lisa would probably encourage it, but whatever, because it's all Lisa's fault to begin with. Let me look at something. Oh yeah. Great. All right. Whatever. That didn't bother me. Nothing bothers me. Nothing bothers me at all. Okay. Olama's running with. Okay, so this is just. Wait a minute. Maybe I was reading this wrong. Okay, maybe it is up. Quadrant run. Oh, okay. No, this is what we want. Okay, I understand now. Because this image downloads the models. That's all it does. This image just comes up, it downloads the models, and then this image is actually what runs them. So we should have... let me see. I'm going to have to ask AI, so let me do this really quickly. Give me... Oh, let me do this. All right. Over here. Give me the curl. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Give me the curl command to what? Give me the curl command. What was it? Was it Quinn? Yeah, it was Quinn. Now I'm really bummed. I'm like suddenly just like really bummed. Like really bummed. Okay. Wait, what? No. No, the vector thingy is using embedding gemma or whatever. Okay, this is what I want. I just wanted the command. Man, God, it's just, why am I such a woman? I mean, well, like, really, like, why am I such a woman? Like, I mean, I see one stupid thing and it just ruins me. It's gonna ruin me for like the rest of the night now. I don't know. Live your life. If you had any dreams, try hard to achieve it. My father had a dream and it dies the previous year. My uncle had a dream and it dies today. Just live your life. Wait, are you saying your uncle died today? Are you speaking figuratively or literally? I'm not sure what you're saying. Like figuratively or literally? Are you talking? Are there deaths in your family like recently, Lindsay? Okay. So the embedding gemma your uncle died today? Wait, whoa. Let's back up. Your uncle died today. Am I understanding you correctly? Quinn 4B. Okay. Oh, it's going to be 3.5, isn't it? Your uncle died today. Well, shit, man. I'm sorry to hear that. When did your father pass? Okay, so I submitted a query to the LLM. This is the first LLM query I've submitted on this computer. I'm curious to see how it performs. Probably terribly, but we're going to try it anyway. Okay. Okay, so your father died in, I'm guessing that's European, July 8th, 2025. So like a little more than a year ago. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, yeah. NotSure says, I feel like I missed a few things. Not really. No, I was talking about, because we were talking about like running, like somehow we got onto the topic of what I'm doing with my life, because Lindsay was like, well, maybe you might want to run the model on a different computer. And I said, well, I could do that. Like, I could set up another computer and we could just, invoke it remotely, SSH into it as needed. To take the strain off of this hardware and, put the strain onto another piece of hardware. But then I was like, I'm going to South Africa in a few days and I don't know what life has in store for me. So, depending on what comes of that, I may or may not buy a new computer. So the path to me buying a new computer would be after return, like I would go to South Africa and then things don't work out the way I want. I would return to the US and then I would cry and then I would cry some more and then I would cry some more. And if I'm being honest, I probably am going to be doing a lot of that. Like I'll just do like here, right? I'm just going to do a lot of this, right? Whoa. Right, and then probably a little bit more. So it's just going to be a lot of crying. It's just going to be a lot of crying. But then eventually, at the end of all that crying, I would then buy a new PC. So there's that. But then if I don't, if things magically go well for me in South Africa, then this is my plan. This is my ultimate plan here, right? Like, and this is from left to right, top to bottom, is how you should read that. I would, remain, and then, this, and then I would go back, and then this, and then that, and then, do all these things. But of course, NotSure says, I can smuggle you a Mac Airbook. Why? I mean, I have Macs. It's fine. But if I come back to the US, I'll just buy a new PC. And I don't know, depending on things I may use, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Lindsay says, don't worry about it. It's okay. No, dude, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. That's like, yeah, I can see why July is a pain in the ass. How much VRAM do you have? I have a very, I have a naive question, which, considering like my years of experience, is VRAM different than is VRAM I see VRAM and I think virtual RAM. What is VRAM? Oh, VRAM. Okay, so it's like GPU RAM. Okay, video random access. Okay, so it's video RAM essentially. I probably have none. Like, if I'm being honest. On Windows, how can I tell how much VRAM I have? Control Shift. Okay, so go Performance tab. Let's go into Task Manager. Performance. I'm sure I have like none. GPU. An ancient GPU. GPU memory, 101 gigabytes. That doesn't sound right. Dedicated GPU memory. Dedicated GPU memory is 5 gigs. Not a lot. Not a lot. But it did return. It did return. It actually didn't. It wasn't that slow, actually. Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how non-slow it was. I want to save these curl commands because I don't want to have to ask AI every time I want to do them. So let me come up here. Why are you always trying to change up what I'm doing? I'm running Quinn at 4 billion parameters. you know, and it didn't take that long. Let's go back. Actually, let's go back. I want to. God damn it. I want to time it. We'll time it. Gen AI is... Why are you trying to get me to install another desktop application? Can you not sit still for a minute? Oh my stars and garters. Just sit still for a second. You're driving me nuts. You know what? I gotta take my blood pressure. I gotta take my blood pressure, boys. You know the drill. Guess the systolic and the dystolic and the pulse, and I'll send you $300. You get just the systolic and the dystolic, I'll send you 100. Oh my God! But I know it's high because NotSure is driving it right through the roof. I know that's what's happening. All right, put your guesses in the chat. Let's go. Nobody's going to guess. That's fine. Here we go. It's working now. Legs are not crossed. It took 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's not that bad. All right, NotSure has a guess. What about Lindsay? Is Lindsay going to guess? Okay. It is 120/76 with a pulse of 60. And I'll show you guys 120/76 with a pulse of 60. So nobody got it. Although NotSure did get the dystolic. You did get the dystolic correctly. Correct. Let me write this down. I have a little log where I keep track of all these things. So the time is 5:30. We'll call it 5:30 on the dot. 120/76. My pulse was 53 this morning. 53. Now, that was like right after I woke up, right? Like when you wake up, you're going to have very low blood pressure. You're going to have very low pulse because you just came from a very restful state. So your body's not really working that much. But oddly enough, actually, now that I think about it, my blood pressure was oddly high when I woke up. It was 143/114, but my pulse was 53. I'm very, for whatever reason, I take pride in my pulse, like being low, like it's a nice, low, steady pulse. Skinny women, like, because there's like 2 skinny women in my life, and they both have like insanely high pulses. Like, I don't understand it. It's crazy. Like each of them has like a pulse of like resting pulse of like 80 or 90. It just seems oddly high to me. Okay, so this was the command, and this is going to be useful later. Okay, I already wrote that down. Okay, oh no, wait, that was the embedding. Okay, that's the embedding, and then this is for the okay, all right. Because what I want to do is I want to wrap this into like just a simple little Python script. The thing is I think we'll still go. I mean, at this rate, it's going to take us 6.5 years, but we're still going to write the chat client. But like we started to the other day, where was it? I thought I had written, okay, right here. What do we need to support for a proof of concept? So I think we probably actually want to split this out into two things, right? There's going to be the AI proof POC, and then there will be the chat POC. Now, at this point, basically, the chat POC is basically just a vessel for the AI. And what I mean by that is it's a not a framework. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a vessel. We'll just call it a vessel, a tool. There's like a construction term that I can't think of, but it's going to be there. The chat is just going to have this basic functionality, and then the AI will basically be that. So we're not going to spend a ton of time making like this beautiful chat client with emojis and like web support and like a mobile app and all that crap. We're not going to do all of that. No. Quint, what is this? VLM is really good for running multiple instances of them. Can you sit still? Like literally, can you sit still for 5 minutes? That's all I'm asking of you. Not sure. That's all I'm asking. Look at Lindsay. Lindsay is calm. He's cool. He's collected, and he's 18. Be more like Lindsay. Just chill. People driving me crazy. I was curious because let's see. That's a 4 billion because I think there's like an 800 million option. Yes, there is. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do that. How do I do this? This is what kind of blocked me yesterday. It's not going to be Docker Compose up, but I'm going to try that anyway. No. Oh wait, I'm not in the Docker folder. Okay, so it which one is it running? Okay, so the model, I think that's still okay. It's downloading it. It's still downloading it. Okay. Welcome, Sandbox. Using an existing Docker image? I'm not sure I understand the question. No, I mean, I know you meant Docker, but I'm not sure I understood like what you're asking exactly. Okay. So now okay. That's not really helpful. Wait, I think I can just do this. Arr! Okay, so this is the PS. Okay, so the 800 billion model is what's running. Okay. All right. Let's just, for giggles, let's go ahead and submit. Oh, wait, I have to specify. Okay. 0.8. I'm just curious to see how well it is. This music is making me sad. My life is making me sad. Like, I was having a pretty good day until about 15, 20 minutes ago. And now I'm just like, I'm really bummed. And like, now I'm trying to not react. I'm trying not to react. I'm going to ask AI what I should do. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, I did time it. Okay. It is timed. So the last one took 1 minute and 30 seconds, roughly. That was with 4 billion parameters. Let's see what we get with 800 million parameters. So it actually took longer. Like the same exact query took longer. Is the 4 billion? I don't think the 4. Well, is the 4 billion one running? Let me see. Let me see. Just do 4B. Okay. Yeah. AI says I should just let it go. Okay. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to get off for the night. I want this to be 4 billion parameters. I don't want to use the 800 million. Actually, I can just do this. Yes, I'm going to discard the file. I'm just going to save these as is. It could be worse. You could be in Pontiac, Michigan. Is that where you're at? What the hell's going on in Pontiac, Michigan? It's also very weird that like Lindsay was very talkative and then NotSure shows up and now Lindsay's completely quiet and NotSure is a little gab monster. Like, what's going on? I feel like I'm being punked. Pontiac, Michigan. Outside of Detroit. Well, that in and of itself is bad. But I also like I've been to Ann Arbor. I've been to Ann Arbor before. And then I tried to get our host to take us to Detroit, but he wouldn't. So I've only been to Ann Arbor. Yes, it's for, so you're in Pontiac, Michigan. I mean, it sounds like a great place. Lindsay, I am still here. There are just family conflicts. Yeah, I guess there's like family stuff going on. You know, you gotta, where the hell is my... I think I left my water bottle in the other room. But yeah, and I'm sure you've got like, you know, logistics, right? Like life still goes on, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. Like you wouldn't want, just because somebody dies, you don't want the world to die. But yeah, that sucks, dude. That sucks, Lindsay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. But I bet I can brighten up your day by telling you a little bit about Pontiac, Michigan. Pontiac, Michigan was traversed for thousands of years by indigenous people, the land that it's on, due to confluence with the Saginaw Trail in the Nottawasippi River. The river's indigenous name was replaced with the Clinton River name by settlers coming from New York State, where DeWitt Clinton served as governor. The Saginaw Trail was the important land trail route for indigenous peoples that ran from Saginaw Bay in Michigan to the Detroit River in present-day Detroit. Early European expeditions into the land north of Detroit described the land as having extreme sterility and bareness. It sounds like a great place to settle. Developments and exploration were soon to prove the report false. And this just goes on and on. I mean, that's all we're going to read. We can only take so much about Pontiac, Michigan. I can only deal with so much learning about Pontiac, Michigan in one day. All right, let's see. So let's see. The village was incorporated by the legislature in 1861. It became a village in 1837. The abundant natural resources led to the establishment of several carriage manufacturing companies, all of which were thriving at the turn of the 20th century. One of the largest carriage manufacturing companies in Pontiac of the era was the O.J. Badeau Wagon Works, which made bodies for carriages and then transitioned to manufacturing bodies for automobiles. At that time, the first self-propelled vehicles were introduced. Pontiac quickly became a capital of the new automotive industry. Throughout the 1910s and 1920s, Pontiac had tremendous growth. Look at that. Wow. And its population and size as tens of thousands. So basically people were coming from all over to work, and because it was a manufacturing hub. African Americans came in the Great Migration, seeking work, education, and a chance to vote and escape the oppression of the Jim Crow South. As the small horseless carriage manufacturers became consolidated under the mantle of General Motors Corporation, Pontiac grew as the industry grew. So, do you think that this town is what they named the car after? Probably. It also suffered some of the same setbacks during the Great Depression. I guess it had some flooding problems because in order to prevent flooding, Pontiac confined the Clinton River in concrete through the downtown in 1963. Changing ideas about urban living in the early 21st century prompted the city to study uncovering the river to create a waterfront community in the city. That's a horribly worded sentence. In late 1966, the Pontiac-born real estate developer A. Alfred Talbaum tried to build a large-scale shopping mall. It was unsuccessful. Pontiac resident C. Don Davidson created a more comprehensive plan for development to benefit the city and the entire region around it. In 1969, the city of Pontiac adopted the Pontiac Plan as the official plan for rebuilding the vacant area of the downtown district. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Well, I am impressed. I mean, not sure you have a gem. This is look, Lindsay's been going through some stuff, but even he is being helped by learning about the rich history of Pontiac, Michigan. So don't disparage the name Pontiac, Michigan, NotSure. Be grateful. Regionally, the city was known for the Arts, Beats, and Eats Festival, a widely attended summer festival featuring an art show, music concert, and a sampling of food from numerous regional restaurants. In 2010, the festival was moved to nearby Royal Oak. God damn you, Royal Oak! The city hosts 2 nationally renowned haunted houses. NotSure, you gotta go. You gotta go. The Realm of Darkness and Erebus. The Realm of Darkness has in previous years been chosen as America's best haunted house. Oh, dude, you gotta go. Erebus held the world record from 2005 to 2009 for the largest haunted house, and it is 4 stories high. That's pretty cool. The Realm. I mean, that suits the music, right? The Realm haunted house. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, the realm of darkness. No, dude, you should go to this. Not sure. You definitely should go. Check out this haunted house, man. It sounds pretty cool. So, Realm of Darkness, but Erebus actually has a wiki page. Where did it go? Erebus. Erebus Haunted Attraction is a 4-story haunted attraction located in Pontiac, Michigan, open seasonally for Halloween. It's probably going to be opening soon. Erebus Haunted Attraction opened in 2000. The parking structure was abandoned for nearly 50 years and had been used as an indoor junkyard prior to Erebus moving in. Okay. Okay, features. Okay, Erebus occupies 100,000 square feet and uses 70,000 square feet of that for storing props. The haunted attraction occupies multiple stories, including an elevator. Well, can you tell me a little? No, it doesn't say anything, but look, it's number 8. In 2015, it was awarded number 8 for the scariest, biggest, and best haunted houses. Rated number 1 as United States best haunted house in 2010. You got to go to Erebus. Forget the other one, the Realm of Darkness or whatever it was. I think Erebus is the one you want to go to. That one sounds cool. Go to Erebus and hopefully, wait, are they might, let's see, are they open? Let's see. Erebus Haunted House. It looks like it's not open right this second, but it looks like it like in terms of being open for the season, it looks kind of like it is. Okay, wait, here's the website. Oh, all right, never mind. It's not open. It's not open. Yeah, if you look on the website, the 2026 season, it doesn't open. It looks like it doesn't open until September 18th. So, yeah, that stinks. Sorry. Well, surely there's more to do in Pontiac, Michigan. I mean, it can't be known just for its haunted houses. Oh, might be. Might be. All right, fellas. Well, I'm going to get off here. It looks like it's going to storm like a, I don't know. I got nothing. It's going to storm quite hard. It looks like I can see the sky getting black and blue. So, boys, it's been fun. Lindsay, I'm sorry to hear you're going through some stuff, man. Cheer up. You'll be all right. It sucks. I know it sucks. It sucks losing somebody, but you'll be okay. All right, fellas. I hope to see both of you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Have a great night. Bye, boys.